What up, dudes? This is a video I've been wanting to make for a while. It's how magic mushrooms can cure depression. And the only way I know that it works, and the only reason I'm doing this video now, is because I've spent the first half of this year just testing on myself and making sure that I'm not just spewing crap, making sure it actually does work. So there are a million studies online about scientists using mushrooms on people with terminal illnesses. It helps them to accept that they're about to die. And accepting death is not an easy thing, obviously. I've known I've had depression since I was 13, 14 maybe, because that's when I learned what the word meant. And then when I was about 21 or 2, I learned that I have seasonal affective disorder. I don't think I get depression as much, I think it's just seasonal. So that means that when I'm in the country that I live, in Wales, and the clouds come over and it starts to rain, and it snows and it's just cold and miserable every day, and during the winter months, that's when depression comes on, because I just want to stay indoors and stay warm. And doing that means you don't get any sunlight, because there isn't any sunlight, and sunlight affects your happiness completely. There's other little bits that affect your happiness, but I think sunlight is the main thing. It's all chemicals. The beautiful thing about magic mushrooms is, if you don't know, there's a thing called mushroom season where I'm from, and that's September to November, when it gets like kind of damp, kind of cold, the right temperature. All the mountains are just covered in mushrooms. You'll find them in grassy fields where sheep are, where cows are. I don't know the perfect terrain to find them, and for me it's kind of random. When I go looking, I don't exactly know what I'm looking for. They just appear, and there's millions of them, and they're there during the months that we need them. So mushrooms are a medicine. In my opinion, that's the main reason they are illegal, is because pharmaceutical companies, they control the law. They say what's okay and what's not, because they have a lot of money invested in the law. They pay police, they pay governments. I feel like pharmaceutical companies run the world, and it's in their interest to sell you prescription drugs. So if they say they've got the cure for depression, they will sell you it. If anybody finds a natural solution, they will make sure that no one can access it. So they made a little mushroom that grows out of the ground illegal, and that's global. Like it's illegal everywhere. So let me just get into pharmaceutical and why it's in their interest to keep you sick. Every business wants you to be a customer forever, because then they can get your business forever. They can get your money. If something free and natural comes along and anybody can get it, then of course they don't want you to have that. Magic mushrooms aren't dangerous. Prescription pills are. You can actually overdose on antidepressants. You can die on the thing that's meant to help you. Ridiculous. I've never taken antidepressants, I never will. I haven't needed to, because I know they don't work. There's a reason that children especially are prescribed them, is because they don't know any better. They're not old enough to do their own research. They just believe what their peers tell them. So that's why so many kids are brought up on antidepressants. And some parents don't even know any better. They don't realize that mushrooms are out there, mushrooms can help. They just see mushrooms as a dangerous thing because they've been programmed to believe that. Everyone that's brought up is told drugs are bad, and they categorize every single drug into one, except alcohol and tobacco. Mushrooms are medicine. They aren't drugs. Pharmaceutical drugs are drugs. It's called a drugstore. A field with some mushrooms is medicine. The only way that mushrooms can be used for all sorts of things, and the only way to tap into like other dimensions and higher realms is by taking really high doses. When I talk about mushrooms to cure depression, I mean very, very small amounts. Like, I would take one tiny little mushroom, the size of that. I took a mushroom that size. I can't show you the mushrooms on YouTube because they're illegal, and I'm not allowed to do that. But I would take one mushroom on cloudy days. So around noon, I would wait out the morning, make sure that clouds weren't going to clear up, and then I would take a mushroom. And that's all I would need for that day. That's my medicine. So I just checked, and I've only done mushrooms 12 times this year, and I think 10 of those are microdoses. If you don't know anything about mushrooms or magic mushrooms, you don't trip on one mushroom. It doesn't affect you visually, anything really. It doesn't. All it does is it makes sure everything's okay. It makes sure your mind is okay. It doesn't let you veer into that scary, dark place that your mind can go when you're depressed. When you don't get that sunlight, when you don't get to go outside, it makes that okay. You can stay indoors and you'll be alright. It does help you to concentrate too, and just to think better thoughts. It's so subtle. It's so subtle, but it does, like, it's magic. It does wonders. I wouldn't even talk about this if I didn't know it worked. That's why I've spent 4 months this year just making sure. I've been been testing. I'm a scientist now. And please don't get the wrong idea, parents watching this or anybody that doesn't, anybody. I'm not trying to promote drugs. I'm not trying to promote this alternative medicine. I just need people to know that it exists, it works, and there's a reason that it's illegal, because it works. If there was a way for the government to control mushrooms and sell mushrooms to you, they would, probably. Maybe, maybe not. But if they can make money off mushrooms in some way, then they would. But because they can't, because there's no way to regulate it, because there's so many mushrooms growing during mushroom season, and people can even grow their own. It's really easy to do. That's why they can't sell them. So they have to sell you these little pills, and you're on those pills for life. If you've been a viewer of this channel for a while, then I hope you know how depressed I can get. You know that my life hasn't been super easy, and when it gets hard, I get really freaking depressed. I have a freaking tattoo on my arm that says, "Remember why you're alive," because I have it on an arm that I used to cut all the time. My arms are covered in scars, but I've been clean 4 or 5 years, maybe 6 years now. The first few years were really hard. I turned to alcohol because I thought that would help, but then I found mushrooms about 2 years ago, well, less than 2 years ago, and they've really helped. They've changed everything, because you don't have to trip. You don't have to trip out. You're not going to hallucinate. Just one little mushroom, that's all it takes. It feels good to be talking about it. I know it's very controversial to talk about something that's illegal, and a lot of people aren't going to believe me that it works. I'm just gonna throw a few studies here on the screen of some real scientists that have done some real research into this. The conclusion was, yes, it works. Yes, it cures depression. Am I cured for life? No, probably not. But when you get sick and you take medicine and you heal up, you're healed. But then you can also get sick again. It's not going to change your life forever, but it's there, so that you don't have to take prescription pills. So the way I wanted this video to go, to begin with, was I wanted to film every day that I was microdosing and just show my reaction throughout the day, piece it all together like a little montage. But I realized that there's no way that could have worked, just because of how long days are, and it's very subtle. It's so subtle. I get sad on cloudy days, and if I don't do anything about it, those cloudy days build up, and then I have breakdowns, and I want to self-harm and all sorts of stuff, and it's just not good. But the way that I have stayed so calm, chill, is just microdosing. I haven't microdosed LSD yet, but I've learned that that's really good for focusing on work and thinking outside the box and stuff, but that's not good for depression. So mushrooms is what I've been microdosing first. I'm trying to find what works best for me, and that works best for me. So I wouldn't say I'm happy all the time. There are some days I get down, but that's mainly just because of loneliness, and the way I can get around that is by just finding people to hang out with. And there's days where I don't have mushrooms around, so I can't microdose. Do I rely on it? No. There are other things that I can do now that I've learned to do, like meditation, keeping distracted by talking to people. There's a few things like you can trick your mind into believing that it doesn't have to be sad, whereas mushrooms just does that for you. Mushrooms are alien. They're alien technology. Humans demonize things that they don't understand, and mushrooms are just one of those things. I definitely believe that they've been granted to us, they've been delivered to us. Humans still don't understand how to use them properly, but I'm learning, and this is just one of the perks. Like, mushrooms are amazing, and this is just one of those things that they can help with. There are so many people that are in my life that are really depressed, and they will never ever accept mushrooms. I explain mushrooms can help. If you just accept alternative medicines, and if you just break down those barriers, and if you try and deprogram yourself a tiny bit, they can help. So many people in my life that are really depressed, that they'll never get themselves out of it. So if you think that all illegal drugs are bad, they're not. Not all of them. There's reasons that things are illegal. It's not the reasons that you think. It's crazy. I've had so many friends get into trouble with the law because of mushrooms. It's so insane. It's something that grows out of the ground. They didn't put it there. They just picked it up and put it in their pocket, or put it in their mouth, and they're getting in trouble for that. I believe that the law will change in my lifetime. I think that either all drugs are going to become descheduled, or certain drugs with enough scientific evidence are going to have to change. Like, there's so much pressure now from the scientific community that mushrooms aren't bad. Yeah, I believe it's all going to change soon. Do you like the shirt I've got? It doesn't make much sense, but I found it and I thought it was great. It's got a little wizard on the back. Thank you for watching. I'm here in Cambodia at some beautiful temples. If you enjoyed this video and you agree with what I said, if you have any experience with mushrooms, please like the video, please share it with someone that might need it. if you know anyone that does not approve of mushrooms or does not approve of psychedelics in general as a medicine, just show them this. See if I can change their mind even a tiny bit. It's very hard to deprogram people, but if you can do it, if you have someone in your life that's so depressed, just try, because it could save their life. The older you get and the more research you do, the more you realize that everything you've been told is false. Everything you believe is false. The older I get, the more research I do, the more scared I get. There's times I just want to stop researching because the truth is scary. This world is not what it seems. None of this is what it seems. Please subscribe to my channel. I upload psychedelic related content on here. Sometimes I do live trips, sometimes I do trip reports, sometimes I just talk about this. I also do other kind of stuff on this channel. There hasn't been much this year because I'm still just figuring out my life, just traveling. I'm trying to ease back into this channel, so please forgive me for leaving big breaks, but it's better than a 2-year break that I had. Before you comment, Jason used to be funny, what's he doing now? I know I used to be funny, or I thought I was funny. I was just hyperactive, that's all. I can make funny videos again, but I feel like things like this are too important not to talk about, so I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Leave a comment, tell me your experience. If you want any more scientific evidence that this works, please look at the links in the description. I've left everything there. If you want to buy a crystal, I sell crystals. Links in the description. My sister posts them for me while I'm traveling. I hope to do some more live trips soon. I'm not going to be doing any drugs in countries like this because the law is very strict. I don't want to die. But yeah, thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Hello, this is still Jason. If you are interested in seeing me explore these temples, the ones that I was filming next to, I post on my daily vlog channel every single day. So I've left a link right there on the screen. All you gotta do is click it and it'll take you over to my vlog channel. If you're interested in seeing more of my life or if you're interested in seeing my travels, it's all on there. Go enjoy the episode. The episode's about 30 minutes long. Eat some kale. Enjoy the episode. Thanks for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Drop a comment. I'll reply to you. Alright, later.